Welcome to Manila Updates TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Japan launches aircraft carrier, stuns Beijing. In a move that few saw coming, Japan has officially launched a full-fledged aircraft carrier, sending shockwaves across the region, and especially catching the attention of Beijing's top military brass. Tokyo's new warship sends waves through Pacific. The sight of this massive vessel, bristling with technology and power, has become a symbol of Japan's renewed maritime ambitions and its determination to play a bigger role in Pacific security. China on alert as Japan's navy steps up. The Chinese military, already wary of Japan's growing capabilities, immediately went on high alert, tracking every movement of the new carrier and analyzing its potential impact on the regional balance. These headlines flashed across screens in Asia and, honestly, all around the world. News anchors spoke with urgency, and military analysts raised their eyebrows. The story dominated broadcasts, with experts debating what this meant for the future of the Pacific. Social media, well, it just erupted with predictions of a new era in the Pacific. This was not just another military drill or routine patrol. Japan's move was bold. People everywhere were glued to their screens, sharing opinions and theories about what might come next. The unveiling of a true aircraft carrier, something not seen since World War II, really shook the region. China's officials watched closely, and US allies like Australia, South Korea, and others definitely took notes. The echoes of history were impossible to ignore, as Japan stepped back onto the stage as a major naval power. The Pacific, once calm, now felt like a chessboard where every piece mattered. The world wondered, had the balance of power just shifted? The launch of Japan's new carrier sent a message. Every nation in the region was forced to reconsider its own strategy and alliances. This was not just about showing off, it was about security, about readiness, and honestly, about a warning to any country thinking of challenging the status quo. Japan was making it clear, it was ready to defend its interests and support its allies. Just as the news spread, the strategic meaning became clear, and the ripples would reach far beyond Tokyo. For decades, Japan had followed a quiet path, but now, the Izumo-class carrier signaled a turning point. The world was watching, and the stakes had never been higher. The Pacific would never look the same again. With this bold step, Japan had changed the game, and the world would be watching every move from here on out. Almost every news story makes Taiwan look like a battlefield between only two powers, China and the United States. The headlines are filled with images of warships, tense standoffs, and dramatic warnings, painting a picture of a simple, two-sided conflict. But really, the picture is much more complex than that. The reality on the ground, and at sea, is shaped by a tangled web of alliances, rivalries, and economic interests that go far beyond just Washington and Beijing. Taiwan is not just a pawn in a superpower rivalry. It's a vibrant democracy with its own identity, government, and people who have hopes, dreams, and fears about their future. It's at the center of a web of interests, fears, and hopes that stretch across Asia and, honestly, the world. The island sits astride some of the world's busiest shipping lanes, making it a crucial link in global trade and technology supply chains. Japan, for one, is deeply involved. Its own security and trade depend on what happens near Taiwan. Any conflict here could threaten Japan's access to vital resources and disrupt its economy. Australia and South Korea watch closely too. Their economies and futures are tied to what happens in the region. Both countries have strong alliances and trade links that could be shaken by instability. Even countries far away have stakes in the game. Taiwan's fate is not just about pride or politics, it's about global stability. A crisis here could send shockwaves through financial markets and supply chains worldwide. The focus on US-China drama misses a key fact. Many nations are ready to act, defend, or even fight if the crisis grows. Regional alliances and security pacts could quickly draw in countries from across the Pacific and beyond. The presence of new military hardware, like Japan's carriers, changes every calculation. Suddenly, the balance is not just about two giants, but a group of nations with shared and sometimes competing goals. Each new ship, jet, or alliance adds another layer of complexity to the situation. So while the headlines scream US versus China, the smart observers know better. The real question is how every piece on the board will move if the pressure rises. The outcome will depend on decisions made not just in Beijing and Washington, but in Tokyo, Seoul, Canberra, and beyond. Japan's new carriers add fresh uncertainty and power into the mix, reminding everyone that the future of Taiwan and the region will be shaped by many hands, not just two. Talk can only go so far in international politics. Behind every negotiation, every handshake, and every carefully chosen word, there is always an unspoken question: who holds the real power? Words do not stop missiles, no matter how persuasive or well-intentioned they may be. And promises do not shield cities from bombs. When tensions rise, it's not speeches that protect people. It's real defenses on the ground and in the air. In the Pacific, true power comes from what you can put in the water, in the air, and on the ground. The ability to move forces quickly and decisively is what shapes the balance of power. Ships and weapon systems are the real currency of strength. They are the tools that turn strategy into reality, and intentions into action. For years, China has expanded its navy. Submarines, destroyers, and aircraft carriers now patrol the South and East China Seas, projecting Chinese influence further than ever before. The United States, too, keeps powerful fleets in the region. Its carrier strike groups and advanced warships are a constant reminder of American commitment to Pacific security. But now, Japan is stepping up. With its new carriers, it can project power far from its own shores, joining the ranks of the world's most capable naval forces. The presence of ships like the Izumo-class is not just for show. They can deliver jets, helicopters, and marines right where they're needed, providing flexibility and rapid response in any crisis. They can block sea lanes or protect them, ensuring that vital trade routes remain open or closed, depending on the needs of the moment. They can turn a crisis into victory or defeat overnight. The speed and scale of modern naval operations can change the course of events in a single day. In the Pacific, whoever controls the waves controls the outcome. Military assets make the difference, shaping not just battles, but the entire regional order. Diplomacy is important, but it only works when backed by real force. Without credible military power, even the best intentions can fall flat. The arrival of new Japanese carriers is a reminder. In the Pacific, words matter, but weapons matter more. In the end, it's the ships and the strength behind them that truly shape the future. At first, the Izumo and Kaga ships were just called helicopter destroyers. Japan built them to carry helicopters for anti-submarine warfare. Their long, flat decks looked like carriers, but Tokyo said they were not. For years they cruised the seas, impressive, but not game-changing. Then, the world watched as Japan began to upgrade these ships. The transformation was careful, step by step. The decks were reinforced, and new systems were installed. Suddenly, these helicopter destroyers could support something far more powerful: fighter jets. Today, the Izumo and Kaga are full-fledged aircraft carriers. They can launch and recover advanced jets, not just helicopters. This change is historic. Japan has not sailed carriers like these since 1945. The symbolism is as strong as the steel on their decks. This transformation means Japan can do much more than before. It can respond to threats quickly. It can support allies. It can act alone if needed. For China, this creates a new and serious challenge. So, the real secret behind the Izumo-class's new power is honestly the F-35B. This stealth fighter can actually take off and land vertically, which means it can operate from smaller decks, like those on the Izumo and Kaga. Suddenly, these ships aren't just carriers, they're mobile air bases. The F-35B brings advanced radar, stealth, and the ability to strike targets far away. It can find enemy ships, dodge missiles, and deliver precision attacks. With these jets on deck, the Izumo-class really becomes a threat to any enemy in the region. For Japan, the F-35B is a leap into the future. It gives the country an edge in any crisis. These jets can respond fast, hit hard, and vanish before enemies even know what happened. The Izumo and Kaga, with F-35Bs, can support US and allied planes, or fly solo. China's planners must now think twice. Any plan to move near Taiwan or challenge Japan faces a new risk. Stealth jets from unexpected directions launched from Japanese carriers could tip the balance fast. The Taiwan Strait is just 130 kilometers wide at its narrowest point. It's honestly one of the world's most tense, watched, and strategic waterways. Every year, billions of dollars worth of trade passes through. Every single day, warships, submarines, and jets patrol the skies and seas nearby. Japan sits right next to this hot zone. The Ryukyu Islands, owned by Japan, stretch from Kyushu down toward Taiwan. In a crisis, these islands become front lines. Japanese ports, runways, and radar stations watch every move. This geography gives Japan a unique role. It can block, support, or monitor any action by China or others. The new carriers fit perfectly into this game. They can move fast, hide behind islands, or appear suddenly near Taiwan. Control of the Taiwan Strait could decide the fate of Asia's future. Japan's new ships, so close to the action, will play a major part in any crisis. Their presence alone changes every plan made in Beijing or Washington. Japan is not alone. The US, Australia, South Korea, and others have strong interests in keeping the Pacific stable. They train together, they share intelligence, their navies cross paths at sea. In any conflict, this web of allies will matter. The Izumo and Kaga are made to work with allied forces. Their systems can talk to US ships and planes. Crews practice joint drills. In a crisis, they can act as command centers or launch pads for allied missions. Australia brings submarines and surveillance. South Korea adds powerful destroyers and air power. The US supplies carriers, submarines, and bombers. Together, these countries form a shield around Taiwan and the region. With Japan's new carriers, the web gets stronger. China now faces not just one navy, but a coordinated force across the Pacific. Every new drill, every shared mission, makes the alliance tighter, and the risks higher for anyone who dares to disrupt the peace. The transformation of the Izumo-class is impressive. New flight decks, powerful radars, and advanced command centers give Japan a modern tool. The ships can carry up to 14 F-35Bs, helicopters, and Marines. They can launch search and rescue missions or full combat sorties. But there are limits. Japanese law still restricts offensive actions. The carriers are smaller than American supercarriers. They cannot carry as many jets or keep them in the air as long. Missiles and submarines are big threats, especially from China's growing arsenal. Japan also depends on the US for some support, like intelligence, satellite data, and even spare parts. Political debates in Tokyo could slow down decisions. The carriers are strong, but they are not invincible. Still, their arrival changes the game. Even with limits, the Izumo-class gives Japan options it never had before. For friends and foes alike, that is a fact no one can ignore. For decades, Japan relied on American power to keep it safe. It built its self-defense forces, but always in the US's shadow. Now, with the Izumo-class carriers, Japan is stepping onto the stage as a leader, not just a follower. China's plans for the region just got harder. Any move near Taiwan, any push into the East China Sea, now faces a new barrier. Japan can act alone, or with allies. Its carriers can move quickly, strike hard, and force China to rethink every step. This shift is about more than ships and jets. It is about a new chapter in Asian security. Japan has found its voice and its strength. The Pacific is no longer just a playground for superpowers. It is a region where many nations have a real say. Will this new balance bring peace or more tension? Is Asia entering a new era where power is shared and challenged by more than just the US and China? One thing is certain: Japan's carriers have changed the game, and nothing will ever be the same.